welcome to stampingcatcrew.com. Today we're going to make this Love What You Do card. It's kind of like one of the little drop shadow cards here. Just has a frame with the recessed centerpiece. So this is the Love What You Do photopolymer stamp set. I loved this background, has kind of a watercolor look. And then I chose this to be the centerpiece. And then I do send a lot of thank you cards, but there are a lot of other wonderful sentiments here. So I'm going to set that aside. That's the stamp set we used today. We did the layering squares framelit, and I just chose the biggest one on here. And what I often do is just center whatever I am cutting out if I'm doing kind of one of these little window box things between the two sides and the top. And that gives me an idea of where that's going to lay. And then I just kept the inside layer to do the stamping on. We did pop it up with some of our, have these in a baggie, but they are the adhesive strips. They're the three-dimensional ones here. So love those. Yes, that's a technical term. Honestly, I don't remember. I need to look in the catalog. I'll put it on the video. Okay, so I'm going to set the framelits aside. Easy way to create that little drop shadow box there. And set the original card aside. I've done a little bit of the stamping for the thank you sentiment. And I usually try to do the stamping ahead of time, but I wanted to show you a couple things that I did with the background here. And so I'm just going to take this. The two colors we used is Calypso Coral and Crumb Cake, and then I used Memento ink for the sentiment, and I'm going to use that for the flower as well. So I did ink up our crumb cake, and then I stamped off on a piece of scrap paper. And what I'm going to do is have that just kind of go at an angle here. And just lift that off, and that's going to be our background. I'm going to take some of our Memento and ink up our flowers. And as much as I love to color, I know it's not a lot of people's favorite. So what I wanted to do was find an easy way to add some color to these. So with the Calypso Coral ink, close these up so I don't make a mess, I actually just took this smaller watercolor, almost kind of circle, and then I inked it up really well, and I dropped it in the center of the flower, and then I went off to the right and left and just added a little bit of a lighter color right there. So I'm going to do the same thing with each flower. I'm going to drop it in the center, and then I'm going to go off to the right and the left. And again in the center and off to the right and the left. And that adds that little bit of lighter color shadow around the edge. So I think I've said this before. My mom's philosophy for cooking is quick, easy, tastes good. And that happens to be my philosophy for stamping. Quick, easy, looks good, hopefully. And there are some projects I love to spend a lot of time on and just really enjoy the process. And then there are some things that people just want to be creative. You want to have that time to get together with some friends and not have it be this masterpiece every time. So I'm actually going to lay these little strips down. So that gives us the support that we need on that card. I'm going to take the backing off of these, and then we're going to center this right on our front card. Our base is actually an A2 card base, and I did it as a portrait cut, and I'll show you what that means. My paper is cut at 11 inches by 4 1/4, and it's scored and folded in half at 5 1/2, so it'll stand up this direction. So Calypso Coral layer is cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and then this inside frame top layer is cut at 5 inches by 3 3/4. And this is the part that's going to drop right on the inside. So since I know that I used the square framelit to cut that out, I know it's going to fit perfectly right inside there. I'm going to add some adhesive around the 4 edges. We have our stamped image. And then just drop that straight down like that. And then our final is, I love this ombre ribbon. And it happens to come in this beautiful Calypso coral color. It's goes from the darkest to a kind of a creamy vanilla color. And I knew I wanted to have some longer tails on my ribbon. I'm going to add the glue dot right to the back of that. A lot of things with ribbon is just a matter of playing with the tails that you have. So part of it is I know that I don't want to have this out too far. We want to have it not covering up the thank you. So that's just a matter of playing with placement here. I just glue dotted it right in the center there. And then I've already done a little bit with the envelope to make that pretty. So that's it. It's actually a really quick and easy card.